Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Awesome Possum Classroom. This is Grade 4, Go Math, Chapter 1, Place Value, Addition and Subtraction to 1 million. Today we will be working on Lesson 1.4, Rounding Numbers. Boys and girls, let's get right into Lesson 1.4. Essential question, how can you round numbers? Unlock the problem. During May 2008, the Mount Rushmore National Monument in South Dakota welcomed 138,202 visitors. A website reported that about 100,000 people visited the park during that month. Was the estimate reasonable? Well, let's come over here. It says underline what you're asked to find. Well, we were asked to find if the estimate was reasonable. Circle the information you will use. Well, we're going to use this number right here, 138,202. All right, let's keep going. An estimate tells you about how many or how much. It is close to an exact amount. You can round to find an estimate. One way you can round is to use a number line. To round a number to the nearest 100,000, find the 100,000 it is between. So 138,202 is between 100,000 and 200,000. Use a number line to see which 100,000 138,202 is close to. So I start with 100,000. I put 150,000 on it, and then 200,000. I mark the number that I'm trying to find the estimate to. All right? So 138,202 is closer to 100,000 than 200. Do you see that, boys and girls? It's closer to 100,000 than 200,000. So 100,000 is a reasonable estimate for 132,000. What number is halfway between 100,000 and 200,000? Well, I've got this wrong here, so I'm going to mark that out. It's not 100, it's 150,000. So I'm going to put that in there, 150,000. Sorry, boys and girls. All right, so the halfway number is 150,000. That is very important. 150,000 is halfway between 100,000 and 200,000. How does knowing where the halfway point is help you find which number 138,202 is closest to? Explain. Well, the location of a number relative to the halfway point helps you tell if it's closer or lesser to the greater rounding number. So here's the rule, boys and girls. If they said this estimate was 151,000, if this said it was 151,000, it would have been on the other side of the 150,000, and it would have been closer to the 200,000, but it wasn't. It was lower than 150,000, so it was closer to the 100,000. The 5 is the halfway point between the numbers when rounding. Numbers 1 through 10, 5 is the halfway point. If we round the number 4 to the nearest 10 or 1, it would be a 1. But if we said the number was a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, it would be closer to a 10. And here is another way. Use place value. Mount Rushmore is located 5,725 feet above sea level. About how high is Mount Rushmore above sea level to the nearest 1,000 feet? So it says, To round a number to the nearest thousand, find the thousands it is between. So 5,725 is between 5,000, and I'm going to put that in here, 5,000 and 6,000. Make sure you're working this out, boys and girls. It says, look at the digit in the place value position to the right, the 7. Think, the digit in the hundreds place is 7, so 5,725 is closer to 6,000 than 5,000. All right, so Mount Rushmore is about 6,000 feet above sea level. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. Let me get this in here for you. I'm going to use a number line. I'm going to put 10 here and 5 here. Oh, I'm sorry, and 1 here and 1. And I'm going to put a 5 here. This is the halfway point. If they're asking you to estimate whatever number it is, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, millions, look, if it is a 5 or more, you round up. If it's 4 or less, you round down. All right. What number is halfway between 70,000 and 80,000? What number is halfway between 70,000 and 80,000? It would be 75,000. Let me get this in here. Okay, let's look at number 4. It says, what is 75,000 rounded to the nearest 10,000? Explain. So we're going to round to the nearest 10,000, which would be here, the 7, so 70,000. So if we're rounding this, is 75,000 closer to 70,000 or 80,000? Well, it's closer to 80,000 since 75,000 is exactly between 70,000 and 80,000. We have to round to the greater number because 75, that 5 is exactly between the two numbers. All right, it says round to the place value of the underlined digit. All right, we're going to look at the 10,000s. So 64,999. Is that closer to 60,000 or 70,000? Look at the 4. What did we say? We round down. So that's closer to 60,000. I'm going to try to get this in here quickly. 3, 4. Okay. 850,000. All right. We're looking at the 100,000s. Look at the 5. That's telling us it's right between what two numbers? 800,000 and 900,000. So are we going to round up or round down? We're going to round up because of the 5. So I'm going to put 900,000 here. This is really hard to write like this, boys and girls, so you'll have to excuse the messiness. Make sure you're not writing this messy, all right? Let's look at 301,587. All right, we're going to round to the nearest thousands, okay? So 301,587. Is that closer to 301,000 or 302,000? Because we're rounding to the nearest thousand. I'm looking at that 5 next to the 1. I'm going to round up. You're absolutely right. I'm going to round it to 302,000. We're rounding to the nearest thousand. Again, we're going to round to the nearest thousand. 10,832. We're looking at the thousands, rounding to the nearest thousand, so I need to look at that 8. What am I going to round it to? 10,000 or 11,000? I'm going to round it to 11,000. That 8 is larger than 4, and 5 is that midpoint that we round up, so it's 11,000. Okay, boys and girls, the next 2 pages, pages 25 and 26, I want you to stop the video. I want you to work these on your own, and then I want you to come back to the video and check your answers. If you got something wrong, those of you who are in my class, you need to contact me, and I'll go over it with you. Those of you who are not in my class, have an adult look over your answers to see what you did incorrect, okay? Stop the video and work on the next 2 pages independently. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to pause the video. I want you to check your answers. Those of you who are in my class, if for some reason you're not understanding what you're doing, make sure you get in touch with me, and I will help you with this, or ask your parent at home to go over this with you to make sure that you understand it. So pause the video and check your answers, and then go to the next page to check your answers. Boys and girls, check your answers. If for some reason you do not understand, make sure you ask an adult at home, or get in touch with me and I will help you individually. All right, here is your independent work for the day. Remember, if you're in my class, this is work that I do grade. Make sure you do the next 2 pages. Take a snapshot of it, send it in to me so that I can grade it. You're going to do this page, and you're going to do this page by yourself. As soon as you're done, take a snapshot, send it to me, and I'll grade it. If you're not understanding this, make sure you contact me. I will work with you independently. All right. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Awesome Possum Classroom at 451. If you would like these worksheets, email me at awesomepossumclassroom@gmail.com. I'll send you the link. Bye-bye, boys and girls. See you in the next lesson.